welcome to the Quest for Details. We're out questing for details at the California Ocean. We have Olive and Danielle is somewhere around the corner. We found a beautiful beach with things to look at. There's a billion tide pools out here and fragments of abalone shell just in every color. And we'll look at some of these beautiful rainbows that have been washed up. The sand is literally, well, it's not sand, it's gravel, but it is full. Oh, and there's little agates here too. That. It's a little agate. And lots of flint. Flint nodules eroding out of the chalkish cliffs and sedimentary stones. And yes, just literally beautiful. It's a beaut. So we'll pick through, look at some details. Sound like fun? You're invited. Ah, sunshine. Look at the intricate patterns in that. It's just, it's my favorite stuff, probably.
I got right in there.
You! That's trail food.
What's in this?
Oh, these perfect pieces of almost made jewelry. So these are all sedimentary layers. The bottom of the ocean, where sand and stuff came out from ancient rivers and laid down layers, and now they've been tilted on their sides. So we're looking at the layers now laid down like that. It's all getting shoved up onto land. There's huge concretions out here. You can see that it's survived the rest of the erosive process, even when other things didn't. A lot of these are smaller, what could be considered concretions. Oh, see the little skipperfish. And the tide will be coming back in, obviously, to cover, oh, almost all the way up to here, it looks like. My dad raised a baby crow.
Dad.
Said they're smarter than a dog. Very little corner of a little baby abalone. What are you sitting on here, Mars? All kinds of good stuff? The shadow makes it even prettier. Ooh. I hope you're enjoying these as much as I am. I see that there's a clue. If we go down to this, it'll be in layers. It'll be in layers, and we can make some pretty fantastic things with some bevel round grinder tips. I think it's one of those rare county beach spots. The colors are just, you know? Ah, that's aesthetically pleasing to gather. You get the gist of what is on land here. It's one of those spots where these rocks must go out like this, and it is covered, or once was, before overhunting and stuff in Abalone. And now the pieces are still forever grinding up because it is just everywhere here. What beautiful stuff. I'm sure there's a lot of fossils around. Danielle found an agate. Olive is on the hunt for some of the bigger, crazier pieces. Look at these. I think shooting in the shadows. Shooting in the shadow is the way to go with these pieces. Look at that. For those of you who have seen lots of abalones, they're still really beautiful, aren't they? For those of you who haven't, wow. Wow! The whole back of that is, all the red is gone and is intricate rainbow work. So when I was a kid, well, let's go back 100 years before that. There's epic pictures of all of these spots anywhere where there was abalones with pyramids. Like, almost like buffalo heads or something, but like pyramids of abalone shells, like huge piles. So they were just taken for granted because you could walk out. The natives' accounts, you would just walk out into these shallows and they'd be grabbable. Here, now you have to dive. By the 1980s and 90s, it was still a heavy recreation sport, and if you went to any campground in California, all up and down these coasts during abalone season, there was piles of abalone shells by the garbage cans. Sometimes for successful people there still is. It's become more and more rare. There's a lot of poaching of undersized stuff, a lot of pressure to take undersized stuff because of, oh, how good the meat is and how small the population is. So it's shrunk down anyhow, not to bum you out too much, but that makes the shells even more and more rare as it gets cleaned up. And in a lot of places you're not allowed to collect this at all, any nature preserves, and those take up a lot of the coast of California at this point. So you're supposed to leave it there. These all look better in the shadows. But yeah, look at that. So for those of you who have seen this a bunch or grew up in those areas, places and times, you might have these embedded 20 at a time in your front driveway. That's a common thing in California, to set the cement pillars of your driveway or running up the curb or the retainment walls, as people would set abalone in there. There was just so much. Now, as we relook at it in 2022, it's not only rare and becoming ever rarer, but it is just, what a beautiful resource. How many things you could make out of that? This is the main swirl at the center where it keeps expanding in its spiral. And they just chrome up in the most awesome ways. Rainbow chrome. Killer. The California coast. Look at the lines in these rocks. Some going this way, some going that way, some going this way. By the time that they've even been lifted up onto shore, what were straight layers once of sediment laid down on flat bottoms and compacted have been bent and tumbled like dough. Like when you're stirring flour into dough and it turns and turns and there's layers in there. These are like the layers of a huge cinnamon roll rolling together and pushed out. That's been folded and folded and folded. And this zigzag goes up, over, bends completely back around. That was once a flat layer. That's how much that has been shoved up, ran into something else, crushed. See the V of those layers. And how these out here were straight all the way to the end. Look at the bends in them here.